everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I have got a book haul for you guys. Over 20 books here that I've collected over the last few months, since the beginning of the year basically. I haven't done a book haul on my channel at all, so these are all the books I've accumulated since January. I've got a mix of physical books and Kindle books. Most of these are from the charity shop or the works. I love a bargain book, what can I say? But yeah, like I said, I've got 20 books here, so I will just dive straight into them and stop rambling. So the first stack of books I've got here are from the works that I got at the beginning of the year in January. I just think they're so good for budget books. I feel like in the last couple of years they've got even better with like the kind of books that they're offering. Anyway, the first book I picked up was Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, £4. As you can see, I haven't taken the stickers off yet. From what I can kind of gather, it's a dark academia style book with some fantastical elements in. It wasn't one that necessarily jumped out at me when I saw everyone talking about it on BookTube, because I am a bit nervous of the whole fantasy genre, but I have been dipping my toe into the genre a little bit more, and for £4 I thought now's the time to give it a go. So yeah, I am actually really excited to get to this one. I picked up a couple of romances. I've got Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, which I actually have read. I think it's probably the only one from this set that I have read. Which I love. This is my first Abby Jimenez. I actually got this for £1.50 in the works. Absolute bargain. Yeah, it was really good. It's about Alexis and Daniel. They kind of literally come from two different worlds. One lives in the countryside on a farm, I think, and the other lives in the city, is a doctor, and it's kind of following them as they navigate their relationship. Yeah, it was a really lovely book, so I would really recommend that. The other romance I picked up from the works was Christina Lauren's Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. I love these covers that they've got in the works. The kind of like block colour covers, much nicer than the other Christina Lauren covers I've seen. Yeah, they had a few different Christina Lauren books, but this is the one I picked up. I'm not too sure kind of what it's about necessarily. I think it's like two friends that have kind of grown up together and start dating. Or not, who knows? I haven't got to that one yet. The last two I picked up, I got How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackie. This, again, one I've seen everywhere, particularly on like the British side of BookTube. It just looks like quite a fun, not too serious mystery. Or not even a mystery, I guess, a thriller. I'm not sure what you would class this as. But yeah, it says, meet Grace, daughter, sister, serial killer. Grace has lost everything and will stop at nothing to get revenge. I am looking forward to reading this and finding out what the hype is about this one. Everyone, on the back it says, deliciously dark, compulsive, laugh out loud, funny and hilarious. So a real mix there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one. The final book I picked up was The Three Dahlias by Katie Watson. This is a murder mystery set at a manor house with a group of friends, I believe. So right up my street. I love a mystery in a cosy setting like this. So definitely one that I'm looking forward to getting into. I haven't read anything by Katie Watson, although this might be a debut. Oh, we've got character lists, we've got maps, we've got floor plans. We've got it all in here. Amazing. Following on from reading and loving Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, I was actually in Aldi, of all places, doing my food shop, and I saw Abby Jimenez's Yours Truly, which follows the friends of Alexis in Part of Your World. It's kind of her story. So I'm super looking forward to this one because I loved her first book that I read. And I really enjoyed the friends in Part of Your World, so to have a whole book dedicated to her, amazing. And as soon as I finished Part of Your World, I instantly wanted to pick this one up. I haven't yet. I've managed to refrain myself But yeah, I really loved Abby Jimenez's writing, so now I want to read all of her books. Start with one I've already read, Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. I read this on my Kindle probably over a year ago now, and I just really enjoyed it, and when I saw it in the charity shop, I just had to pick up a physical copy. I like to have physical copies of the books I read, especially the ones that I love, but I very, very rarely actually get around to buying them. I would much rather buy books that I haven't read yet. So when I saw it in a charity shop in good condition, I had to get it, and I just love the purple of this. I picked up Harper Lee To Kill a Mockingbird, which is one I haven't actually ever read. I feel like this was such a staple of like English lessons at school, and we just never read it. It just feels like one that I should have read. So I'm hoping to rectify that at some point and finally pick it up. I've been keeping my eye out for it for a while in charity shops, but I always seem to find the sequel, Ghost at Watchman, but never the first one, so I'm happy to have found this. I actually found it in the kids section, so that says everything I need to know about when I should have read this. But yeah, just a classic that I very much need to read. I was super excited to find this one. It's actually in a really bashed up condition, but because I was so excited to find it, I actually had to just buy it no matter the condition. It's Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. Again, this is one I've heard a lot about recently. Just seems like a very different take on a murder mystery thriller kind of novel. I think it starts off by listing off who's going to die on what pages, which seems like a really interesting method. And yeah, from what I've heard, it's just like a very unique writing style. So I'm looking forward to reading this one and kind of seeing how I find it. I think I've seen a lot of like mixed reviews on kind of the writing style, and yeah. Oh, this was actually one I also picked up in the works. I put it in the wrong pile. Tomorrow, Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Sevin. This, again, is one I've seen everywhere, particularly last year. I think it was like the Waterstones Book of the Year or something like that. Everyone has loved this from what I've seen, and I've just never got around to get my hands on it. So I was super excited to find it in the works for £5. I don't know too much about this one, but I think it involves video games and romance. Interesting. Another classic that I haven't read, Stephen King's Carrie. This edition, sorry, I probably wouldn't have picked this book up if it wasn't for this incredible edition. I just loved it. And in such good condition too. I have read a couple of Stephen King books and really enjoyed them, and it's definitely an author that I want to read more from, but his books are so bloody long. I'm always put off. So this is a bit of a shorter one, and I mean, it's Carrie. I've heard everyone knows the story of Carrie, right? Except me, because I've never read it. So I am looking forward to getting to know what this is about, and yeah, reading another Stephen King, another horror. Yeah, I just couldn't resist this edition, if I'm honest. And then finally, the last physical book I picked up from the charity shop was Death and Croissants by Ian Moore. This is another cosy mystery book, kind of in the vein of the Thursday Murder Club, I think. They all kind of came out around the same time. Following Richard, a middle-aged Englishman who runs a B&B. All I need to know. Like I say, I love a cosy mystery. I just find them so easy to read, and yeah, they're definitely up there in my kind of favourite genre of book to read. So super happy to have another one to add to my TBR. So those are all the physical books that I've picked up in the last few months. Like I said, I think there was 12 or 13 there. And then my other kind of group of books are Kindle books. So I recently got Kindle Unlimited. I'm not going to include all the books that I've kind of borrowed from there, I guess. I'm just going to go with the ones that I have bought this year so far. On my Kindle, I always buy books that are 99p or less on Kindle. It's kind of my rule for Kindle books. If they're not 99p, I'm not buying them. I just would rather have the physical copy if I can, you know, so I don't necessarily pay like £5-6 for a Kindle book. I'd rather just buy the physical. But yeah, they are definitely my weakness, the 99p Kindle deals. I just think it's not even £1, you know, so every month I always go through the million pages that they've got on Amazon and kind of just go crazy buying ridiculous amounts of Kindle books that I'm never going to get to. So yeah, I've got my Kindle here, so I'm going to list off the ones that I've got. Obviously I'm not just going to show you the covers on here because that would be a nightmare. I have my notebook with all the Kindle books that I've bought written down, so I don't have to try and navigate my Kindle because it's very old and slow now. The first book I picked up for 99p was Marple by Agatha Christie. It's like a short story collection, I think, of like the Miss Marple books that has recently been published. I don't know how it really works, if they were kind of ones that hadn't been published before and have now been found and published, or if they are kind of republished books. But I am trying to work my way through all of the Agatha Christie books. I'm currently on the Poirot ones and not very far through, so I haven't even dived into the world of Miss Marple yet. But like I say, it was 99p and it was quite a recent book that's come out, so I thought I'll get it while I can for an affordable price. But yeah, I might put the Poirots on hold and go over to Miss Marple because I kind of wish I started with them ones, but we'll see. I am trying to read them in the chronological order that they came out in. I think I'm on book like 5, so I've got a long way to go, but it's there ready for when I need it. The next book I picked up was Checkmate by Ali Hazelwood, which I've actually read. This is her YA novel that came out quite recently. Really enjoyed it actually. It doesn't really read too much like a YA novel. I was a bit worried going into it that it would be like very young, but I mean the characters are like 18 and 20, so I wouldn't say it's too YA, and it definitely doesn't read like it, so I would recommend it if you are hesitant to go into it because of that. But yeah, really enjoyed that one and love that it was on Kindle. A booktuber I saw years and years and years ago, she's the only one I've seen mention this book, read The Truth About the Harry Kubert Affair, and she gave such a glowing review. It's been in my mind since then, and I finally saw it on Kindle, like I say, for 99p, so I finally have got hold of it and hopefully can read it soon because I don't even know what it's about. I don't even know why it's like so ingrained in my brain. Like one person said they loved it and I was like, right, well, I need to read it, and haven't stopped thinking about it for years. So I really hope it lives up to the expectation that I've put on it. I mean, I don't know why I'm holding it in such high regard. I picked up Dial A for Aunties, which I think again is another kind of fun mystery thriller book, one that doesn't take itself too seriously. I think it's about, I don't really know too much what it's about. I like to kind of just be surprised as I go into it, but from what I can kind of gather, it's about a woman who like kills her boyfriend or something and then calls her aunties to come and help clear it up. Just another fun book. That's kind of what I need, especially on my Kindle. I just like the fun, easy reads, you know, that I read on my commute home or from work and things like that. So I love it, and I love an easy read, particularly on a Kindle. Similar to that, I picked up Veronica Ruiz Breaks the Bank, which is a novella short story in the Finlay Donovan series. I think it's placed in between the 3rd and the 4th book, and I have just finished the 3rd book, so perfect timing for me to find that one. I really enjoyed this series. I would say the first and 2nd book were stronger than the most recent one I've just read, but I'm looking forward to diving into Veronica's character more. She plays such a big role in Finlay Donovan's life and the stories, but we don't really know too much about her character, so I'm looking forward to this little short story to find out more. I'm hoping to read that maybe next month and kind of make some more progress in that series. One I've seen everywhere recently is Bright Young Women. Again, I don't know too much about this one. I think it's more like a serious read, which is good to break up all the million light-hearted ones I've picked up recently. But yeah, another one I've seen everywhere, all over BookTube, and heard really glowing reviews about. It sounds like a really important read. I picked up Days at the Murasaki Bookshop. Again, I think this is another Japanese translated novel, and I just love that kind of area of the world to read about. I really love Japanese translated fiction. I have had really good success with a lot of the books that I've read from that kind of area of the world, and I think this one is about a bookshop, so win-win for me. Again, they're quite quick books, I find, a lot of the ones that have been translated, and they're very like short, easy to read, so I'm looking forward to reading that one, and yeah, getting another Japanese translated fiction author under my belt. Another light-hearted mystery. Can you tell that there is a theme here? I've picked up Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murder. I don't know too much about these books. I just know that they're kind of a cozy mystery vibe, and that's what I'm here for, so I don't need to know too much more going into them. And then a romance I picked up, Binding 13. This one I think it was actually $1.99 on Kindle. I've broken my own rule here, but I have on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know why I needed to buy another romance that wasn't on Kindle Unlimited, but again, I just saw one person on BookTube recently read it, and just when she kind of spoke about what it was about and how much she really enjoyed it, I caved and bought it. I think I was in like a very wanting to read romance mood, and evidently the million I've got on Kindle Unlimited and bought physically wasn't enough. So I bought Binding 13. I think it's by like Chloe Walsh. I'm not 100% sure. Who knows if and when I'll get to it. I think it's like an 800-page book. I caved. It was the middle of the night and I caved. And then finally I picked up 2 non-fictions. Keeping with my Agatha Christie theme, I picked up Agatha Christie by Lucy Worsley. I'm really intrigued to kind of learn more about Agatha Christie. She seems like she's an iconic woman, you know, like I want to know more. However, I have heard, I think it was Megs with Books, was saying she's also picked it up and hasn't got to it yet because it's got a lot of spoilers in. So I'm a bit hesitant to go into that because I don't want to be spoiled for every Agatha Christie book I read next. But at the same time, I've only read 5 and she's got hundreds. So will I ever be caught up to then be able to read the non-fiction book? I'm not sure. So maybe I'll just have to read it anyway and accept the spoilers. And then the last non-fiction book I picked up was Know My Name by Chanel Miller. Hugely important book to read, and one that I've seen around for a while now and wanted to get my hands on and just haven't got round to. So I was really happy to get that on Kindle and definitely want to read it soon. I want to read more non-fiction this year anyway, and this has been one that's very much at the top of my list. So yeah, really glad to finally have that and kind of read her story. And that is all the books that I've picked up on Kindle and physically in the last 3 months or so since the start of the year. I'm glad to finally have shown you them all and I can actually put them in their proper place. I've had them stacked up on the side here for a while, waiting to show you in a book haul, so I'm glad to have finally got to it. And hopefully I can start showing you the books I buy in a bit more of a timely manner now, not leaving it 3 months. But yeah, I'm so excited for so many of these books. I've been feeling kind of a bit blah about my TBR recently. It's got a lot of books on there that I've had for years, so I'm kind of very happy to freshen it up with all these new books. And yeah, I'm actually really excited for so many of them, as I'm sure I've said after every book that I'm excited to read it. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Let me know which book you think I should get to next, what ones I should prioritise, and let me know what ones you've loved down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye!